If you're a fan of cricket, then don't go anywhere. Welcome to Sim UK. Today we are taking a first look at Don Bradman's Cricket 17 from Big Ant Studios, and for me, today is a very good day. In 2014, Big Ant Studios released Don Bradman Cricket 14 and totally revolutionised cricket gaming for the PC with major accolades coming from all quarters. Cricket simulation had arrived. This Near 2 simulation experience delivered a similar depth of architecture and content that you commonly find in sports simulators like FIFA. Seemingly, this game came out under the radar and slipped past players like myself who perhaps had become disconnected with cricket games completely after playing titles like Brian Lara and the Ashes cricket series, which were more of an arcade and very shallow in terms of depth. Big Ant Studios, or BAT, are an Australian development house who until very recently I had not even heard of, which is a shame because they have some fantastic titles under their belt already. Despite their main focus being centred on the arguably less popular sports such as cricket, Australian Football League, rugby league, lacrosse and dirt track racing, they have also released some titles that I am almost certain you will have heard of, Fruit Ninja and Spyro the Dragon to name but two. Big Ant Studios release titles on all platforms and are, in my opinion, the real deal. Should they ever decide to take a swing at FIFA's domain, then I think FIFA had better watch out. That's enough about the studio, let's focus on Don Bradman's Cricket 17 or DBC 17. Australian cricketer Don Bradman, the Don, aka Sir Don Bradman, the greatest cricketer of all time, would, I think, be more than proud to have his name associated with this title. Unlike DBC 14, which started life on PC and was then ported to console, DBC 17 is available on the following platforms at release: Xbox, PS4 and PC via the Steam platform, the latter being the last one to be released. As a result, the game's menu system seems geared towards the controller. Unfortunately, for this first look review, I'll only have access to the demo version. That being said, the demo is pretty comprehensive and gives what I believe to be an extremely good representation of the full title. The only thing I cannot show you in this review is a full match and/or fielding in the game. But what I can show you is most certainly worth seeing. Don Bradman Cricket 17 has so much depth it is difficult to decide where to begin. I think, therefore, let's start with the menu system. In the demo at least, DB17 opens with an animated representation of Sir Don Bradman himself. A nice touch, I'm sure you will agree. Stepping into the main menu then is something of a minimalist affair, with just 4 options available: Cricket Academy, Training, a Settings tab and an option to exit the game. It looks impressive with modern styling and is slick and intuitive to navigate, and loading times are reasonable. Everything here is easy to find and you won't be getting lost or confused as a result. I have already made a comparison with FIFA, but Don Bradman Cricket 17 is actually a lot like Pro Evolution Soccer 2. Although Don Bradman Cricket 17 has all the international teams and an impressive number of domestic teams available, it does not hold the license to use real player names. As a result, players are faithfully but not accurately represented. This is not much of a barrier, as the editing capabilities included with DB17 are extremely good. You can create, edit, share and delete players and teams, and that includes women players too. And the same applies to logos, umpires and even the bat. Plus, there is a full stadium creator, and you won't find that in FIFA. Whilst the character, team and bat creation tools are pretty self-explanatory and simple to use, on the PC at least, both the stadium and logo creation tools are incredibly capable and as a result can be somewhat intimidating. They will both take time to learn and even longer to master, but what can be achieved using these tools is almost unlimited. In addition to all of the above, the community regularly create, update and share their own creations, and downloading stadiums or entire teams and logos could not be simpler. In-game settings and options are pretty extensive also, with more than 40 relevant controller buttons to recall, combine and master. Within the full title, these are also editable. There are a decent number of general settings ranging from ball trail to head-up display and camera settings, and whilst the camera options are few, they do cover all of the expected TV angles. Then, there are the gameplay modifier settings, which enable gameplay tweaking by way of slider bars. And finally, there are the audio options, which might just be better located under the General tab. The full title also includes options for your sharing account and your user statistics. For the majority of cricket titles before DB17, gameplay had always been a bit weak. There has been little to learn and certainly not much to master. With such limited depth and complexity, these games become lackluster and ultimately boring. For me, this is one area where DBC17 has really got it right. In the demo, I can see, but not access, tutorials for both bowling and batting, which is an odd choice as both bowling and batting requires some time to learn and much longer to master. That being said, it doesn't take too long to begin to understand what does what, and more importantly, what is considered to be good and what is considered to be bad. I can, however, pick a single training player and the stadium to train in, or in the nets. Nets training involves batting against a bowling machine, where your shots receive feedback for footwork, timing and shot choice. There is little in the way of a tutorial here, and players are, to some extent, left to fend for themselves. The most you get in terms of guidance would be the tips you receive as a chosen game venue is loading. When you finish with the nets, you can progress to ground training in a stadium of your choosing. Everything here is identical but for the location, and the ability to watch your shots in their entirety, unless your shot sends the ball behind you or takes too long to reach the boundary. In addition to this, you can also select from 3 mini-games, which are also geared towards training. The mini-games are a nice addition, and other than the nets, are probably the place where you would be spending most of your time whilst in the demo. There is only one batting game to choose from. In addition to feedback, you can accumulate runs which convert to points. Points are scored by having the ball reach circular zones surrounding the pitch or hitting the boundary. Points can be further boosted by the ball hitting or rolling near to randomly generated markers which serve to provide multipliers and streaks. The bowling games are again directed towards training, and these mini-games teach you how to control length, line and height direction, different bowling types, timing and more. Game 1 primarily serves to teach you about pitch and ball manipulation, and Game 2 focuses more on the line and height variation. Batting physics in cricket games are the most important of all because everyone is expected to bat at some stage or other. DBC17 cleverly utilises both thumbsticks and 3 of the 4 shoulder buttons in order to create a realistic and fulfilling batting experience. The way batting works in DB17 is similar in many ways to cricket games which have preceded it. It's never easy to bat in the real world, and DB17 is no exception. As the ball leaves the bowler, a coloured ring indicates the length of the delivery, a nice touch which can be turned off for added realism, and the importance of footwork, timing and shot choice adds a level of difficulty which makes it challenging, exactly as it should be. This certainly does feel like there is an element of skill involved, and practice will benefit you handsomely in the long run. DBC17 does not appear to have true 360 degree available when playing a shot. I agree that it is possible to hit exactly the same shot to the exact same location on almost a repeated basis, and indeed there is not true 360 degrees of shot available. But the same shot can also vary depending on your footwork, timing and the ball being delivered. This is further enhanced then when boosting the difficulty level right up, making it much harder to repeatedly hit the same shot, thereby dramatically reducing the likelihood of the same result and vastly increasing the unpredictable angles and results. To be critical, there is room for improvement here, but on the whole I think there is enough variety and it delivers a realistic cricketing experience. Although I have yet to try and work a ball between 2 well-placed fielders. The bowling physics are much better than the batting physics. Perhaps it is because the art of bowling is far more difficult to master. As you practice and begin to progress, you will start to find a rhythm and a style all of your own, something which seems to be lacking in the batting crease. Bowling accuracy is tough, and when you include spin, timing, line and height, you can quickly see how this requires more skill than luck. Bowling is a combination of using both thumbsticks plus all 4 paddle buttons and also the 4 A, B, X and Y buttons. Oh, did I mention you also need to use the D-pad? I like the level of complexity here, and the ball does seem to react well to your command, which lends itself well to the idea that better practiced and or naturally talented bowlers are more of a threat to a batsman. There is a lot on offer here. Overall, I would like to say that DB17 is the best cricket game that I have ever played. I don't think DB17 quite qualifies as a simulator, but it is certainly the closest yet, most definitely worthy of the accolade Simcade. It is absolutely jam-packed with content and has all the necessary pieces to entertain and to continue to entertain long after your purchase. Here though is my only real criticism of the game. It will cost you a whopping £40, and DBC 14, which is a 3-year-old game, is still priced at £30. DBC 17 is a fantastic representation for the game of cricket on the PC, but with such a high price tag, I think it might well scare off all but those who have an extreme devotion to the sport of cricket. My name's Tim UK, thank you so much for watching, take care of yourselves, until next time, bye bye.